Good morning. I thought I would take you on a little trip through my little town just from the grocery store and back. With all this craziness going on with this coronavirus, I decided to come do a pretty significant grocery pickup just so that I don't have to get back out for a while. Regardless of whether you take this coronavirus seriously or not, it's always a good idea to have at least 3 weeks worth of groceries stored up in your house. Not things that require refrigeration, but canned things, prepared box things, medicines. That's just common sense to keep that stuff up in your house. But with this particular threat that is especially dangerous to people like me who have a genetic immunodeficiency, I'm going to stock up a little bit more than that. If you have water jugs at your house, if you buy water by the gallon, don't throw away the empty jugs. Fill them up and put them in your freezers. If you have a deep freezer, that way if your power goes out for anything, not just this, but storms, that way it helps to keep your freezer cold longer. But I'm trying not to panic about it, but it's just smart to be prepared. I have a son-in-law who's a missionary who's about to leave to go on a trip to Africa. And to be honest, I'm quite shocked that he's still going with all this going on, but I just have to pray that everything works out and he comes back to my daughter and their children healthy. If you watch the mainstream news, I don't think you get the whole story of what's actually going on there. You have to dig into the YouTube videos to find out what's the truth and what's really going on. This way that we're driving right now, this is the back way from the store to my house. I try not to get out in the traffic if I don't have to. I say traffic, but this is a really small town. There really isn't much traffic here. It's very cold this morning. Woke up to temperatures in the 30s. Yesterday it was warm enough that I cut the heat off, but not so much today. I'm going to try to get out in a little bit, take the dog for a walk, and then I have a few errands I have to run today. And I'll show you a little bit more of our town when we do that. I think there are some people who may be overly panicking, but then on the reverse side, you have people saying things like coronavirus is just literally a cold. It is not just a cold. This is dangerous, and I think it's much more dangerous than they want you to believe. So just do what you can to stay prepared. You know, do the things that you should be doing during flu season anyway. Wash your hands. Avoid crowded places if you can. When you get back from somewhere like the grocery store, if I go in the grocery store, which I try to just do the pickup because of my CVID, but if you go in the grocery store, wipe down your buggy with a Clorox wipe. When you get home, wash your hands. After you put all your groceries up, wash your hands again. Wipe down the lids of your cans before you put them up. These are just things that really you should do in your everyday life, whether there's the panic of this coronavirus or not. But I believe you should be prepared for anything. And we are back at our street, and that's just a little look at my little corner of the world, my little neighborhood. So, see you later. Oh my goodness. It is crazy early this morning. It's not even all the way daylight yet. But I'm still working on getting our house all filled up with groceries and having our freezer full in case this crazy coronavirus gets out of hand, which I hope my little bitty town, I doubt, has much to worry about. but there is a university close by that does have a large population of foreign students flying back and forth, so who knows. But this is our drive through our little village, my little corner of the world. It's very quiet this morning, but it's generally always quiet in our little village. It's my cousin's house. It still doesn't get any easier to drive by there and know she isn't there anymore. I'm so glad our little bitty town's Walmart finally got grocery pickup, but I really wish that Kroger would. That's our only other grocery store, and really the one I prefer, but during flu season it's not a good idea for me to take myself into Kroger's and end up getting sick. So Walmart pickup it is until flu season is over. I'm going to start doing a series of videos on not just our little village, but the ones that are surrounding it, how they came to be and what became sort of their downfall. I didn't grow up here. I grew up one county over, but my dad and his family all grew up right around here. And although I love my little village, as you can see as we're driving through here, it's not in the best of shape anymore. When I was growing up, you would not see a vacant house like that in this mill village. You wouldn't see people not taking care of their homes in this mill village. Why? Because the cotton mill provided everybody with a really good living that lived in this mill village. All up and down this river are cotton mills that are being torn down. Some have caught on fire. Most of them have already been torn down. And empty little villages like mine. Look over there. That is what's left of part of the cotton mill in my little village. It's in the process of being torn down. But I'm going to do a series on the history of these little villages. It's not just mine. Like I say, they're all up and down the river from one town over in the next state of West Point, Georgia, all the way down to a county over the other way in Opelika. There are cotton mills all up and down this river that used to provide a decent income for these areas. And all of these little areas from West Point to Opelika were all each their own individual city with their own governments, their own school systems. And then when the cotton mills went out of business and they lost the majority of the jobs in the area, all these little villages from Lynette, Shawmut, Hughley, Fairfax, Riverdale, Langdale, they all had to kind of pull together and form one town and call themselves Valley. Because when I was growing up, anybody who was on their way to any of the little villages, whether it was Lynette, Shawmut, West Point, Hughley, Fairfax, Langdale, Riverview, any of them, if you were going there from Opelika, you were going to the Valley. Because they called, I don't know why, they called all of it the Valley. And now they're all one town called that. But we're going to go over the history of how the cotton mills came to be in our little village and what caused the downfall of all the cotton mills in my little village, in my area. Now, I've never worked in them. They were gone out of business before I moved back after school, but my dad's family, my mom's family, they all grew up working in the mill village, working in the cotton mills. And then they all lost their jobs when they went out of business, and it wasn't pretty. So now I'm going to sit here and wait on my pickup order.